In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a beautiful horizontally scrolling website by reproducing an awards-winning website with Elementor Pro and no additional plugin. And then I'll show you what it could look like with a different brand. Hello, I'm your host Casino from Casino.com. I'm the digital alchemist, and the way this started is simply during a consulting call when I was trying to showcase a few nice websites from the awards website, and then I landed on this website. So let me show you. So this is the website, and usually I don't really do horizontal scrolling websites, but this one, I thought it was so well executed and it looked really beautiful, from the images to the bottles that you see here. I mean, everything was looking really good. And I thought, maybe I should create a tutorial about this. Now, once again, it's not about stealing someone else's design. It's all about inspiration and showing you the process so that you can create your own, put your own spin on it and create beautiful websites. And what I really want you to grasp is that you can create pretty much anything with Elementor Pro. Okay, but first of all, let's give credit where it's due, because I've been using this code pen from Alvaro Trigo and I've slightly modified the code. Okay, next, let's look at what I've been using to create this project. So I'm using the Astra theme, the free version. So you may as well install it if you want to follow along. And then in terms of plugins, I'm using Elementor and Elementor Pro. And if you're serious about web design and you don't have Elementor Pro yet, you'll find a handy link in the description below. Now, the only reason why I recommend Elementor Pro is because I absolutely love it and recommend it all the time. And it gives a little kickback if you purchase through my link. And that, my friend, allows me to keep on creating free content just for you. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at what we're going to build. So the first thing we're going to do is to create a simple version, but that simple version will allow you to create anything you want when it comes to a horizontally scrolling website. And next, I will use this foundation to recreate the original awards website. And this is the demo that I've created that you see now on screen. Now, I've had to make a few compromises, but all in all, it looks really similar to the original demo. And then I will show you what it could look like with a different brand and different images, different bottles, as you can see on screen, and all in all, different visuals. Now, as you can see, this website uses a vertical navigation, but I'll talk about that a bit later in this video. Now, it wouldn't really make sense to use horizontal scrolling on a mobile, and that's why on the mobile and on the tablet, it will be a regular vertical scrolling. Okay, the first thing we want to do is to remove the header and footer, and I'm going to show you why. So if you go on the front end, this is what we currently have. We have our header and our footer from the Astra theme. I already created a menu, but this is what we get, and that's going to be a problem, and let me show you. If we don't remove it, this is what we're going to see. So we have the header here that takes some space, and because it's taking that space, we don't see what's here at the bottom. And when you scroll, it's scrolling horizontally because that's the goal, right? Now, in order to remove the header and footer, we could use the canvas type for all our pages, but I don't really want to do that because it comes with some drawbacks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a Elementor Pro header and a Elementor Pro footer and just replace the Astra theme header and footer. So for that, you want to go to Templates, Theme Builder. Next, make sure you click on the header tab and then click on Add New. Next, you want to make sure that header is selected and just type the name of your new header and then click on Create Template. Okay, we don't want to use any of that, so you just want to close this and then just click on Publish. It's empty, but it's fine. Click on Publish, click Add Condition, include on the entire website, and click on Save and Close. And next, you want to do the same thing for the footer. So go to Theme Builder within Templates, and then make sure you click on the Footer tab, and then click on Add New. Next, give it a name, click on Create Template. You can close this, and then you just want to click on Publish. Click on Add Condition, include on the entire website, and then click on Save and Close. Okay, so now we can start creating the content. So the first thing you want to do is go to Pages, Add New, and we're going to call it Temp because this is not the final page, and you'll understand why in a moment. So create this temporary page, and then because I'm using Astra, I'm going to click on Disable Title. Next, I click on Publish, and a second time on Publish, and then I can click on Edit with Elementor. Okay, there we are. So the reason why we're creating a temporary page is because once we've applied the CSS and the JavaScript, it's going to be a little bit harder to edit within Elementor Pro. Still possible, but not quite convenient, especially at the beginning. So just make your life easy, do everything in the temp page first, and then we're going to copy and paste some of the sections to the final page. Okay, now we can start building the simple prototype. So you want to click on the plus sign and we're going to select one column. Next, you want to go to the left pane and we're going to make the content width full width. Next, we want the height to be a minimum height of 100 VH. And next, you want the column position to be stretch. Okay, next you want to select the column within the section. So either click here on this icon or you can do it in the navigator. And if you don't know how to open it, the icon is here at the bottom left corner of the page. So if I click on it, I can toggle on and off, or I can use Command I on a Mac or Control and I on a PC. Now, with our column selected, you want to change the HTML tag. So it's really crucial. Otherwise, this tutorial is not going to work. I repeat,
it's really crucial.
So you want to change the HTML tag to section and then click on update. Okay, next we're going to rename our column. So here in the navigator, I'm just going to double click and then I'm going to call it slide 1 column. Okay, next I'm going to click on the widgets icon and I'm just going to drag a heading. I'm going to change the text to 1, just make it in the middle, and at this stage you just want to make it bold. It doesn't really matter how it looks. So let me just paste a style I've already prepared. So this is what I'm going to use. So let me update. Okay, next I'm just going to collapse the column and the section here, and I'm just going to duplicate it 7 times. Why 7 times? That's simply because we have 7 slides. So slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is to open each section and we're going to rename the column.
That's very important for the rest of this tutorial.
So number 2 is slide 2, of course, and you also want to change the number because here we have number 1 and then we want to change to number 2, and we want to do the same for all the other sections. Okay, and once you're done, just click on update to save your work. Okay, next you want to go back to the dashboard, but I'm not going to close this tab yet. So I'm just going to open the dashboard in a new tab, and then once again I want to go to pages, add new, and now I'm going to create a new page that I'm going to call demo. And once again, because I'm using Astra, I'm going to disable the title, then I click on publish once again, and then edit with Elementor. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is to click on the plus sign to add a new section, and we're going to pick one column. Then on the left hand side, you want to change the content width to full width. And for the height, you want to make it a minimum height of 100 VH. Next, for the column position, you want to change it to stretch. And next, and once again, this is
crucial,
where it says HTML tag, you want to change the default to main. And that's so crucial. If you don't do this, the tutorial is not going to work. I repeat, if you don't do this, the tutorial is not going to work. Okay, once you've done that, just click on the update button. Okay, next we're going to go back to the temp page, so the temporary page. So let me go back, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to select each column and right click on it and just copy. So make sure you copy the column and not the section. So once again, right click, copy. And next we want to go back to our demo page. And now what I want to do is expand the section. And I'm just going to right click on the first column and I'm going to paste what we've just copied. And then I can remove the first column. And next we want to do that for all the columns from the temp page. Now you may be wondering, why do we do this? It would all make sense, but you need to do it this way. We need each column to be in an individual section. Whereas here on the demo page, this is where the magic is going to happen. We want all the columns to be within one single section. Okay, now as mentioned, I'm just going to go back to the temporary page and I'm just going to copy each column and paste it within the demo page. Okay, so there we are on the demo page, and as you can see now, each column is stacked next to each other. So you want to click on the gear icon here at the bottom left corner of the window, and next you want to click on advanced, and then you want to get the CSS code from the companion blog post, for which you will find a link in the description of this video, and then you just want to paste the code here. Now it looks like nothing happened, and that's for a reason. As I've told you, if you forget to put the right HTML tag for the section or for the columns, this is what happens. So let me show you. Let's click on slide number 1. And as you can see, HTML tag says default. We don't want that. So you want to change it to section. And now if I click on the update button and then I refresh the page, as you can see, now we got a full screen section. We need to do the same thing for each slide. So let me do this quickly. Okay, so I've changed all the columns to the HTML tag section. And let's make sure that our section here has the HTML tag main. Okay, so now let me click on the update button, and one more time, let's refresh the page. Now, if I scroll, it scrolls vertically, but nothing happens. And once again, we need to add a little bit of magic. So make sure you click on the widgets icon, and then you want to type HTML, and this is the widget we want to use. And then I want to drag this widget just underneath the number 1. Okay, so we can see it here in the navigator. So right under the heading. And then we want to move this widget in column number 7. Now, because of the CSS, we can't really see slide number 7. So I'm just going to drag the HTML widget in the navigator and just place it here at the very bottom, just underneath the heading in column slide 7. So next, make sure you select the HTML widget, and where it says HTML code, you want to paste the code that you will find in the companion blog post. And once again, the link is in the description below. So let me paste this. And one more time, let me click on update and refresh the page. Okay, so now is the moment of truth. Let's start scrolling. And as you can see, it's working fine. So let me show you the preview here. And as you can see, it's working beautifully. Okay, now that we have a good foundation, we need to prepare our images and make sure you optimize them for the web. Now, you may know that the WebP format can now be used within WordPress natively. So I've converted all the images to the WebP format. It's a very light format without any visible quality loss. Okay, so the next step is to go back to the temporary page. I repeat, the temporary page, not the demo one at this stage. So we're going back to the temporary page, and then I'm just going to look at the original website, and I'm going to try to match it, looking for fonts, adding the images, and basically recreating the structure. Okay, so now I have all my sections worked out, and of course I made sure that it works on the tablet and on the mobile. But as mentioned at the beginning of this video, we're not going to use the horizontal scrolling for tablet and mobile. So just made sure that it looks good on the mobile and the tablet, just as I would do for any website. But today we're focused on the horizontal scrolling. Okay, so just to make things clear in case you are lost, this is our temporary page. Let me open the navigator. So this is our temporary page. And now we want to go back to our demo page, which is this one, which has the working horizontal scrolling. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing we did earlier on. Okay, so next I'm going to right click and just delete this section. And next I'm going to click on the plus sign to create a new section. But because of the JavaScript and the CSS, it's now here on the left hand side. So let me click on the plus sign, and I'm just going to click on one column. And once again, I don't know if you remember, we want to select our section. We want to go on the left pane and make sure that the HTML tag is set to main. Once again,
Very, very crucial.
okay, once that's done, we can go back to our temporary page. I'm going to right click and copy slide column number 1. So copy, then I go back to the demo page. I'm going to expand the section. I can right click on the column and click on paste. Okay, and now I can just delete the first column. Okay, so now let's do the same for the other slides/columns. And don't forget, we want to put all the columns underneath that main section. Okay, so we are done. Let me just update the page. Then let's refresh. Okay, so it's now looking good, but if we scroll, it's not going to work. And that's because we need to add the HTML widget just like we did in the first place. So for that, you want to click on the widgets icon, and then you just want to type HTML, and drag this widget. I'm going to drag it here in the first slide. And then I'm going to expand my slide number 7, inner section, column, and I want to put it at the very, very bottom. So let me make this a bit taller. And then I'm just going to drag here in the navigator. So let me drag the HTML widget here and let me make it at the very, very bottom. And then with our HTML widget selected, you want to go to the left pane, and where it says HTML code, you want to paste the code that you get from the companion blog post. Once again, the link is in the description below. So let's click on update, and now let's refresh. Okay, and now the moment of truth. So let's start scrolling, and as you can see, it's working fine. So let's take a look at the front end. Great, and as you can see, it's working fine. Let's go up until the end, and here the effect works. Great. Now, it's all working and that's great, but one of the drawbacks that you should know about is the fact that if you use this tutorial, then the scrolling effects from Elementor won't work, like the parallax. So let me show you. If I select my slide 1, which is a column, then I go to style. Here underneath, I have these scrolling effects. And let's say I want to use vertical scroll. So here it seems like it's working within Elementor admin, but let me use another one. So let me also use horizontal scroll. Okay, and now let me update. Now let's test it on the front end. So let's refresh. And now if I start scrolling, nothing happens. I mean, the horizontal scrolling is working, which is what you want. Otherwise you wouldn't be following this tutorial, but the built-in scrolling effects won't work. Okay, now let's make it look a little bit more Viking, shall we? So for that, we want to go to Pages, Add New. Okay, and I'm going to call this Demo Vikings. Then once again, because I'm on Astra, I'm going to click on Disable Title, click on Publish twice, and then click on Edit with Elementor. Okay, so now we can start, but I don't want to start from scratch. So ideally, you would open the temporary page and then change each section, then create a new page, which we have done here, and then you would do the same process that we did earlier on. But I want to go a little bit faster, so what I'm going to do instead is go back to what we've just built. So let me right click and copy, then let me go back to our new page, and I'm going to paste this, and of course it looks awful because we didn't add the CSS code. So let me go back to the other tab, click on the gear icon, advanced, and then I'm going to copy the CSS. Then let me go back and let me do the same thing in reverse. Okay, and now it's looking good. So I can start editing now. Okay, so now let's take a look in the front end. Okay, looking gorgeous. So let's take a look. Let's scroll, and as you can see, the images are really, really important. You really need to prepare your images. So here I created a fake brand called Viking, actually a brand within a brand. So we got a Vikings brand, and then we got each line of whiskey. So we got Vinces, Viking, and Viqueen. And as you can see, beautiful images. And I've applied a paint effect. Maybe you can't see it with the compression here on YouTube, but I've applied a paint effect on all the images. Now, as mentioned on the tablet, it's vertical scrolling because it doesn't make sense to use the horizontal scrolling. And the same is true for the mobile. Now, at the beginning of this video, I showed you this demo that features a few things that we did not touch on yet. And the first thing is the custom mouse cursor that you can see on screen. So for that, I already created a tutorial and you find a link in the description below. Now, the other thing that we did not touch on is the navigation. So let me click on this. So as you can see, I can open it. I have a beautiful full screen, semi-transparent navigation. Now we have the same navigation on the tablet, but with the slide in this time. Now for the mobile version, I went for a top navigation instead of a vertical one because I didn't want to waste any space on the left-hand side. Now, if you want to know how to create this beautiful navigation, make sure you stick around because that will be one of the next videos here on the channel. And if you're watching this from the future, you will find a link to this tutorial in the description below and at the end of this video. So this is what we came up with, and in my opinion the result is gorgeous, and all credit goes to the designers that won the awards on the awards website. Now, I wouldn't use this type of horizontal scrolling website for just anything, but in this case it works really well, showcasing products, or maybe it's for an event. That works really well. Now, as you saw, the most important thing once you've got all the tutorial nailed is to get the right images. So you really need to work and spend time on creating gorgeous images. And then be creative. As I mentioned, this is not about stealing, this is about getting inspired and knowing the process, and now you can pretty much create your own, and as usual, sky is the limit. Now, there's another very important thing that you need to keep in mind, is that if you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, because it took me so long to make, and for you it's just going to be a split second, but for me and the channel, that's going to make a huge difference for the YouTube algorithm. So if you want to show some love, now is the time. Now, if you want to make sure you don't miss the full screen navigation tutorial I talked about, as well as all the other tutorials coming to this channel, make sure you subscribe and smash the notification bell so that you don't miss anything. I really hope you got a lot out of this video, and I can't wait to see what you're going to come up with. And don't forget, I'm trying to build the content I wish I had when I got started. So I'll see you in the next one, and until then, take care and stay safe.